what you do at Initech is you take the specifications from the customers and you bring them down to the software engineers.
Yes, that's right.
Well, then I just have to ask, why couldn't the customers just take them directly to the software people, huh?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because engineers are not good at dealing with customers.
So you physically take the specs from the customer?
Well, no, my secretary does that, or the fax.
So then you must physically bring them to the software people.
Well, no. Yeah, I mean, sometimes.
What would you say you do here?
Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the goddamn customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Welcome to Flyby Films, once or twice a month using the magic of distance-defying tubes or some stupid shit like that. We get together to discuss films that either have been or will be forgotten. I'm Blake Collier. And sitting next to me in this tiny little box, on the line in Chico, California, is my friend and co-host Jameson Barsotti. On this episode, we are going to be talking about a forgotten film. Truly. Well, there's probably someone out there, some asshole out there that's seen it recently. But
yeah, but you know what, Blake? They're not listening to our podcast.
Yeah,
so
they're listening to the paid critics.
Yeah.
This is 1987's Matewan, and it is directed by John Sayles, who is a director, according to the days when I used to listen to high-end film podcasting, is a director you should know, and I feel like I know his name and not much else. I did see 8 Men Out, which is the film he made directly after this, because it had John Cusack in it.
Have you seen Piranha?
I have seen Piranha. Did he write the screenplay for that? Or something like that?
No, he directed Piranha, I think.
He did not direct Piranha. Joe Dante did.
Yeah, sorry. He was involved. Yeah, sorry. He was involved with Piranha.
He was involved. I can't remember what it was, though. He may have been an actor. I know he acts occasionally.
Well, he was in this movie. Did you catch that?
No.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure I could actually tell you what he looks like.
Yeah, I'll give you 3 guesses as to what character he was. Do we want to save this?
Oh, wait, I know. He was the sheriff dressed as David Strahan.
No.
Oh, okay. Hold on. He was a wobbly dressed like Chris Cooper.
No. I'll give you one more.
He was a little kid?
No, he wasn't the little kid. No, he was the hardline preacher.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's a very Osgood Perkins thing of him to do.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
Did you catch that? It's like a reverse thing. Like you like say that someone in the future like made it a thing, and then you make every other instance.
I like doing that. Really. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jameson.
Blake.
How you been?
Man, I'm tired. You know what though? Is this the inaugural episode of Flyby Film Season 4?
It is.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, this might even come out after the inauguration.
Yeah. I chose my words.
Get it? Get it?
Chose my words carefully. Yeah.
Get it?
I got it. I heard you. I, Blake, to answer your question, I am tired. I am sleepy. I am ready to go to bed. But I am recording with you because you are my pal and I care about you and I want to do
I
this.
appreciate that. I have two kids who are sleeping in really shitty, precarious situations.
Like upside down.
So, no, like one in my bed or one in our bed, and one in, well, basically one parent sleeps with one and the other parent sleeps with the other. So it's awesome.
Oof.
It's great. We haven't.
Yeah.
My wife and I have not been in the same bed in probably. Well, take that back. It's probably been a couple weeks because we did get one night where both kids were gone and we actually got to sleep in the same bed. But before that, it was quite a while.
I'm sorry about that.
It is what it is.
It will pass eventually.
Oh yeah.
Your kids will
This
get
too shall
older
pass.
and they will not want to sleep with you. So
Real quick question. Y'all are gonna have a second kid? Huh?
Dude,
After what I just explained to you, are you going to have a second kid? It is
am not
amazing.
right
Every
now.
bit of it is the best thing ever.
Incredible. That's great. I could see that your head is saying not what your mouth is saying. Yeah.
No, it really is great, but I wouldn't necessarily wish it upon anybody.
We are very,
least
very
right now.
happy right now. Yeah.
Right
like
now.
we have an equilibrium that we are enjoying with just
Yeah.
Hazel. So I don't know. I don't
That
know
was
what.
very diplomatically handled for a guy
Yeah.
whose wife would actually probably listen to this episode. So good job. I'm
Well,
gonna
I was
applaud you for
gonna
that.
say my wife is
My
going to be
wife.
on this episode, but then I realized no, my wife is going to be on the other episode we're recording.
Yep. That's right.
That might come out before this one. So
Might. We'll see. We'll
I
see
think
if we get done with this one. We may be both tired.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Let me see. Anything new on this end? I'm trying to think if I have anything to report. I don't even know what we talked about the last time. Did we talk? We talked about Chessbot, so we don't need to talk about that. Chess is cool, I guess.
Wow,
2025.
that was a drastic drop in support for your own creation. Chess is
No.
fine, I guess. Whatever.
Oh, I do have more things that I've been setting up. I've been getting into networking a lot, and I don't mean LinkedIn. I've been getting into setting up my local area network, which is just a fun way of saying, my own computers and Wi-Fi and stuff. But what I've
Are you talking
what
about the ad blocking?
yeah, I've been ad blocking, blasting them ads in that.
Blast those ads, but only at 50%, which is
Well,
not that impressive, honestly.
no, it's not the ads being blasted at 50%. It's everything coming in being blasted. I still need to use the internet. And so, like, that's all of the things. Blake, I'm trying to
Okay.
explain this to you.
Real quick question. If I were to do this pirating situation you got going on here,
There's no pirating.
Silence. If I were to do this pirating situation, would my VPN not work for my remote work?
No, my VPN works
No,
fine.
it wouldn't work? Okay, well, I guess I can't do it then.
You can block your remote work. No, VPNs work fine. I was actually wondering the same thing. It's like, oh, I should just check to see if your company does a lot of shady, like, malicious activity, or like maybe if they have ads and trackers, then you might actually be blocking them. But if they're normal and they don't do that shit, then you'll be fine.
What company does malicious ad tracking
Well, it's not
outside of
companies.
scammers?
I mean, there's a ton of scammers.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but
Google
is
does
that?
tracking, right?
But I guess you could consider that a job. Do you
Yeah.
get paid to be one of those people that scams people,
I don't know. I
or is it
don't.
just another corporate bullshit where the person your supervisor gets all the money and you get paid like $6 an hour?
So, okay. Blake, I think we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
Okay, all right, carry on.
I for Christmas got a Raspberry Pi, and I already had a Raspberry Pi, and I ended up
Bigger,
getting actually another one. What?
a bigger one.
Yeah, I got a newer one. So they have
Good.
the Raspberry Pi 5, but they're still good. Like my Raspberry Pi 4 is still good enough to do different things on it. So I was able to set up what's called Pi-hole
Uh huh.
DNS server,
That's a great
and
name, by the way.
yeah, it is a great name. And what it does is it is so a DNS server. I learned all this stuff a month ago, but it stands for domain name
Server.
system or something. I don't know, server. Yeah, it's probably like ATM machine. But no, I mean, essentially what it does is it communicates between IP addresses and human readable domain names, and it
Mm-hmm.
basically sorts out that business, both outgoing and incoming. So like you get it all sorted. Um, what it this does is it if you point it at your router, or you actually tell your router to point at these things, your Wi-Fi router, what it'll do is your anytime internet comes in, the router will like be like, "Oh, go here to get your domain name sorted out." And then what
Mm-hmm.
the pie holes do is you just load up a list of domains that are just blocked. I think I have like 1.6 million uh, block list, and if it's on that block list, it'll be like, "Oh, here's where you should go," and it's a false door that like goes to nowhere, and so the ads just don't show up. And what's great about it
Okay,
is,
real quick question. Quick
yeah.
note of clarification. How does one acquire a 1.6 million list of
Oh, there's
domains?
so this is all open source, and so there's this open source I don't know, list of lists called the Firebog. Uh,
I like it.
it yeah, it's pretty fun, and you just grab that stuff and you upload it, and basically you point to the URL of these lists and you put it into your Pi-hole, and it will collect all these things for you. And these lists are maintained too, so they'll
Mm-hmm.
keep being added to, and you can actually just hit a button that says update my master list, and it will go and check and see if it needs any more. It's
Okay,
pretty
so
cool.
just on the front end, for us people who aren't very smart, um, what does it actually look like on the screen? Is it just ads don't pop up, or is there like a empty box that pops up, or like?
So it depends. Both of those things happen. So there are a lot of cases where empty boxes will show up, and that usually indicates like, oh, the HTML has like a spot for the ad like embedded into it.
Gotcha.
But the ad won't show up. It's actually really funny because it'll say like advertisement, but you won't like get anything. There's no like your finger won't slip and click into it. One big benefit that I noticed was my smart TV works better because ads don't pop up on my smart TV. And this only works because I have it connected to my router. So like anytime anything is coming through my router looking for my smart TV, it's like being intercepted by this thing. And so it'll just like kind of be blank. It'll say like I think it says like WebOS, but like it's not worried about loading these ads, and so I can get to Netflix faster and it's less annoying. It's pretty great.
What about YouTube? What about those annoying commercials in between YouTube like videos?
Yeah, so this is the one drawback about this is it's not going to touch those because those are embedded in the app.
Ah,
So anything that's embedded in an app. Now there are some apps that use kind of normal URLs. So this is very basic, like is this a malicious URL or is this a like known tracking URL? Actually, funny enough, you sent me a link to this recording and I was being blocked because the link, um, for whatever reason, like the button for this link to this was going through some sort of,
oh
you
wow.
know, tracker thing that's on my ad blocking list.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it was actually interesting. That's why I like texted you. I was like, "Oh, can you send me a direct link?" I figured out another way around it, which was I disconnected from my Wi-Fi
mm-hmm.
and I got on it, and then I reconnected to my Wi-Fi when I was
Ah,
doing this because my phone by itself isn't going to that for the DNS
gotcha.
server. So anyway, it's it's nerdy, but it actually works, which I think sometimes when you hear people talk about like their server and their, they get all nerdy about this shit and you're like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you got like half a second faster on your web pages loading up.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Good for you." But like I was like I show this to Kira and it affects her too because it's just centralized and she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, this is great." So, yeah,
Dang.
I was even
My
able
damn.
to, yeah, I was even able to extend it to when I'm not in my house. And I'll explain that too. I was able to put a VPN on my Raspberry Pi that's still running this and like host a VPN so I can get to my local area network when I'm away from it. But it also allows me to connect to my VPN when I'm on my phone, and all of the internet is running through my home router then when I'm away, and
Mm-hmm.
it's blocking the ads. So
Nice.
I know. I feel I feel really cool having done this, even though I like just followed a bunch of dumb tutorials. Like I didn't do anything special.
But you
So
did it. You followed the dumb tutorials.
well,
And
it
that's
it
what
feels
really
like
matters at the end of the day.
yeah, it feels like I followed a like paint by numbers book, but then you actually got something cool at the end. So
As opposed to just a stupid unicorn.
yeah,
Yeah,
stupid unicorns.
stupid unicorns.
So Blake,
Speaking
did you
of, you know what my son likes to watch? And you know what? It's not half bad.
stupid unicorns?
My Little Pony.
My Little Pony.
It's not half bad. Friendship is
Well,
magic. That's
you know
that's the
what?
name of the show. Not bad. Actually kind of funny.
Okay. Look at that.
Yeah. I'm a real man.
I think the correct term is brony.
Brony, yes, that is
Yeah.
correct. I remember when that was a thing.
Yeah.
It was a thing in the zeitgeist. And now
Does
no
it
one thinks about it.
yeah, does it go down easier knowing that like it's okay for kids to like My Little Pony now too because Redditors
Oh,
haven't taken it over?
I never figured out how to use Reddit. I never got it.
Yeah.
Like it,
I
it,
mean,
it seemed like it seemed like an ideal format, like if you like the old school message boards, but it never worked exactly like message boards,
mm,
and so it didn't quite work for me.
Yeah. I use it because there's a lot of good information on it.
Yeah,
So,
as long as you're in the
like,
right channels.
yeah,
Yeah.
as long as you're in the right channels. So, Blake, what was the coolest thing you got for Christmas?
I got 2 pieces of wood.
Hmm.
They were sweet gum wood that I am going to build my own desk from. We are turning our closet, which you can
Mm-hmm.
see the door to right there,
Mm-hmm.
into a little micro office for me / podcasting studio.
Ooh,
So
look
I'm
at
building a
that.
nice little wood desk to go in there, and gonna trick it out with some sound padding and various other things. And I mean, this will be a long term project. It's not all gonna happen at once,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna strip out all the shelving and repaint it and build a desk. So we got 2 pieces of sweet gum wood from this guy who
Mm-hmm.
his job is taking down trees, and he on the side he loads the trees and cuts them into slabs and sells them because it's
Nice.
various different trees, and he's like, I can make some money off of it.
Hey, that's good.
So yeah, it was 2 sizable pieces for $80. I mean, can't go wrong with
That's
that. So
Yeah, that's really cool. So,
so that was probably the best thing. I mean, I technically got let's see. I mean, my Childish Gambino concert back in August was technically part of my birthday / Christmas as well. So
mm,
yeah, there's various things. That's what my wife and I do. Is we usually buy concerts and crap for each other, and usually it's just like small stuff for
that's
each other
cool.
on Christmas. So
I mean, getting you materials for a big giant desk is actually pretty
mhm.
cool. So,
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to put it together. It'll be a small little project. I'm actually gonna try to do it right and not try to cheat the system.
yeah.
Rent out a belt
Um,
sander and make sure everything's nice and smooth, and then get a I don't remember the tool that inserts the little holes in the sides so you can put the dowels in there and put the two
I don't,
pieces of wood together
yeah. I
with
don't know the
with
names of
glue.
tools. Yeah. So,
So, and one the side that's on the where the chair is going to go is going to be a live edge,
mm,
so it's going to be like uneven,
okay.
which is the way the wood is cut anyways. So just strip the bark off and leave the edge like it is. Yeah,
Nice.
we'll
Are
see.
there a lot of sweet gum trees in Oklahoma?
I honestly didn't know there was such thing as a sweet gum tree,
I was gonna say that's the first I've heard of sweet gum.
but it's a pretty wood. So I was like, okay, let's go with it.
That's good. It's got a nice name,
Uh
you
huh.
know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I don't know my trees outside of like your. Well, I mean, I grew up in Amarillo. There were no trees outside of hickory trees, but those were largely like almost weeds. They were like the weeds of trees.
we have tree weeds
Yeah.
where I'm at. They're called Tree of Heaven, and they are just everywhere, and
Yeah.
they grow up like weeds. Actually, a friend of mine and I, he like came over and we chopped down a bunch of them that had just been growing on the side of our house since we moved in,
Mm-hmm.
and they were sizable at that
Yeah.
point. Like it was like if we had let them go another season, we would have had to call in a
An
an
actual.
an
Tree
actual
removal.
tree removal, and they just shoot up. Like it took like 2.5 years for those to shoot up and just be pests. And they're walk anywhere in the neighborhood and you can spot them, and they're just everywhere.
Annoying.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So that's basically the coolest thing I got. What was? I mean, I guess the coolest thing you got was the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, getting to like kind of futz around with
Yeah.
this. And I I think we're both of that age where like getting something that is kind of like a tool that you can
Yeah.
tool around with and
Futz around with. Yeah. I like that.
dinker.
Futz
Yeah,
around.
futz around. And make something out of it,
Uh huh.
and have your way with it.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Definitely. So I did want to ask a question, and I know that you normally don't like to ask or get asked such questions until I don't know April May
I
of the
hate
following year.
questions.
Sweet. Well, let's move on to the movie.
Well,
uh,
I guess we don't have anything to talk about. Yeah.
what is the one movie you saw this year, old or new, doesn't matter, that has been most on your mind?
Oh man.
Like has stuck with you the longest?
Oh. That stuck with me the longest this year, old or new. Are you saying first time seeing it
Yeah.
this year?
Well, yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
First time seeing it.
First time seeing it. I was gonna say, You Were Never Really Here is always like I always think
Oh
about
yeah.
that a lot, but I had seen that before. Um,
And if you don't have one, no big deal. But
I mean, this is where it's kind of like, you caught me on you caught me on such a week where I'd seen a movie that I really liked, and you know, it's still kind of in my mind, and it kind of stuck with me. But you're gonna, it's so popular right now. I think
it's
that's the
so
thing,
buzzy.
but it's
So buzzy.
so buzzy. But man, uh, honestly, the substance held up to the hype, and I was pretty like happy after I watched that, and I still think I think it lands whatever it tries for. Whether or not like I'll remember it in 3 months or 6 months or a year.
I don't know.
I
You don't talk about movies like this often, so I would imagine it's gonna stick with you at least for a little bit.
Well,
So
here's the thing. I think the more people talk about it, the more frustrated I get. So I'm just kind of gonna not listen to it because, like, Demi Moore, great. Demi Moore won. Actually, I think give her all the awards. Like, what she does in
mhm.
that movie is awesome. Like, I think that like that is a performance.
Mhm.
Have you seen it yet? I know
No,
you said maybe you try. Okay, well, I don't want to like spoil anything, but
no, please don't spoil it.
but what I liked about it was like, I think the term body horror can get thrown around a lot where it's like, okay, is it, or are you just kind of, I don't know.
I feel like most recent body horror is actually body awkwardness more than
Yes.
anything.
So there's a movie that comes to mind that also came out this year, that the more I like think about it, the less I like it. Which,
I bet I can
you
guess
know,
which one.
yeah, if it puts you, if it might put me on
And
at
I haven't seen
odds.
it either, but I can
Yeah,
almost guess which one.
yeah. No, I'll say it. I'll say it. But it's I saw the TV glow.
Yeah, that's what I
Was
thought.
that the one you were thinking? Yeah,
Yep.
it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me even to the level of like of their other movie, uh um we're
Let's all
all
go
going
to
to
the
the
World's
world.
Fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all going to the World's Fair. I actually, that one stuck with me, and I do think about that one every once in a while, and I enjoyed it. This one, I don't know. You know what? I think it was is people really like these shows like Buffy. I don't think I can ever. Yeah, I think we've already talked about this. Like
Yeah.
Joss Whedon is just and that type of show plays a really big role in this movie, and so it could have been as simple as I just didn't connect with it on that level.
Yeah.
Also, it's a trans allegory, and I'm not trans, so maybe it wasn't for me. But
Hmm.
I also think, okay, movies aren't supposed to be exclusive like that. So,
Yeah.
if it didn't work for me, it might not work for other people too.
The
But
bigger question is, was the subtext made text?
so I think you keep saying this and it's like burned a hole in my brain. And yeah, so that movie, the subtext is front and center.
Yeah.
And it's just
It's like a blinking
I
light.
it's like a blinking light, and I'm just like, okay, this is exhausting,
Yeah.
right? And this, getting back to the substance,
Nobody.
honestly, honestly, I think the substance like succeeds at putting the subtext in the sub, like
Yeah.
keeping it there, and it is at its core just a simple morality tale. Like it could have been an Aesop's fable
Hmm.
about this thing, and it just takes that and goes bonkers. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's commentary about feminism and about how we treat, women, but like the characters, there are no heroes in this movie. It's
Hmm.
just this tale about this person who is making a Faustian bargain with technology.
Yeah.
And I just think I was very, very pleasantly surprised by it, and it stuck with me. So, right now that's the movie that stuck with me. But like that's also recency and whatever. So
You're gonna laugh when I tell you mine because you said that Demi Moore should get all the awards. Well, the person in this film, I think, should get all the awards too, and that is Heretic.
oh, you know what?
Surprisingly
Yeah.
enough, that movie has, for whatever reason, stuck with me for a long freaking time. Because what? I saw it in like, I don't know, September, October.
I
And
think it came out in
I
November.
literally, okay, November. I literally think about it at least once a day.
Yeah. I
Hugh
liked it.
Grant is
I'm
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. He is the best part of that movie, and he really he's a lot of fun in it.
And you know what? I don't think it actually does, like, I don't think it makes subtext text because I don't actually think it has a subtext. I think, yeah, there's some vague commentary about like religion and whatnot, but it's super vague and it's not like coherent
Yeah,
of a critique. So,
I I think that's what maybe didn't really connect with me so well was that like the words that were being said, I was like, these don't mean anything. Like,
yeah.
well, okay. So I
I
think
do like the play on uh what does he call it? Um it's where he's playing the song and then he says he brings in Radiohead's Creep and then he brings in,
oh,
I thought that was a fascinating thought.
you know
Like the
what I
whole like,
thought? You know what I thought? They had a missed opportunity there
oh,
at
okay.
the end when the credits were playing. They should have had Lana Del Rey's version of Creep play.
Yeah.
Uh,
But you
but
know who was singing that?
who?
the
Oh
character who
yeah,
dies in the
I
movie.
knew it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I thought
remember
was a
I
nice little
remember
touch.
waiting to
Yeah,
to see that. So I did remember that.
and the freaking uh, question he asked about polygamy was just phenomenal. I mean, every, the silence that happens like right after that happens,
Yeah,
and you just see the smart ass smile on his face.
yeah. No,
Oh,
I
it's so good.
yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
I
admittedly,
think I agree. Like it didn't really have subtext, but and I'll be fair. I'll lobby a criticism of the substance. The substance is far too long. Like it doesn't need to be as long as
yeah,
it is.
you told me
Like
it was too long, but
it's 2.5 hours, and it does
oh,
start to
it's two
feel
and a
like
half hours.
it's 2.5 hours. It's two and a
Holy
half
shit!
fucking hours. Um,
I
and
didn't know it was that long. I was
I mean,
expecting like 2 hours.
what's the fucking irony of us talking about something that goes on too long, Blake? So, I'd like to
Hey,
point that out.
hey, sir. Until recently, we've been sticking to an hour and a half per episode,
I
which
think
is the
we're
only length a film should be.
that's true. That's true. Um, but no, the substance too long. Heretic a little
That's
too
fair.
talky. And I feel like the substance, that's actually like a point I give it, is a lot of it is just watching Demi Moore like process her world and
Yeah.
like new things and old things and I will give like a big warning. That movie is about bodies. There's a lot of naked bodies. If you're not
Ooh,
comfortable with nudity,
naked bodies,
there's a lot of fake nudity too. Um, Margaret Qualley
like fake
has
penises.
not fake penises. There's actually not a lot of penises. I don't know if there are
Oh,
penises in,
that sounds like
but
misogyny.
yeah, I mean, but I think in the credits, like Margaret Qualley had like a team dedicated to her breasts, like
Oh, okay,
making them fake, and so yeah, everything is
that's
fake
funny.
in that movie, but it's yeah. Anyway, if that
So
makes you
basically,
squeamish,
it's not a movie that I necessarily want to enjoy if my wife were to randomly walk in, which is not the first time that's happened, where she's been like, "What the hell are you watching?"
I will say for as many bodies as there are and as hypersexualized as they are, it's not a very sexy movie. Like so it's
Then it did its job.
yeah, yeah.
My wife the other night actually brought up. She's like, have you seen this movie, The Substance? And you know it's entered the zeitgeist when my
Yeah.
wife
Yeah.
notes something about it, and she was like, "Have you seen it?" I was like, "No, I probably will at some point." And she's like, "Would you want to see it with me?" I was like, "You want to watch a body horror film?" And she was like, "Oh, it's body horror. Oh, it's a horror film. Oh, I don't know about that. I can't like that."
If you're if Melissa watches The Substance, you have got to tell me. You've
Okay,
got to tell me what she thinks of
I
it.
may secretly record the what happens during that viewing if that actually
Okay.
happens, and I'll just send you the recording.
Yeah. I will I'll just say like when it's described as body horror, believe it. Like
Yeah,
I think I was a little bit like sure, okay, this like con approved, horror movie. And it's not like the high-minded world of cinema is a stranger to body horror. Like uh David Cronenberg is a darling of that world. Sure. So,
I mean, honestly, there for a while he was the only one.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. So it's not like, I think there's all this like buzz about like, oh, should mainstream awards, care about horror now after this movie? And I'm like, I don't care what they do. There are some directors that get away with this, and then it will continue to be kind of an underground thing, like, and that's where it should be. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
speaking of the
agree.
underground,
Oh man, boy, did I pick one. Boy, did I pick one. So,
boy,
boy, so would you like to know how I came about this film? I'd never once
uh,
heard of this film.
what movie is this again? I think I forgot.
Matewan,
Oh yeah, that's right.
1987, John Sayles. Um,
1987.
1987.
It's the second best thing to come out of 1987. Do you know what the first best thing is?
You,
Fucking
you.
me. You got it. You remember.
Oh yeah, I remember. I know. I'm the old person on this podcast. I get it.
Aw.
Yeah, so I came about this for inspiration. I like to type into Google obscure films. And you know what came up? A stupid
What?
ass list from IMDb. And you know what? All right, that's better than like I don't know Reddit or Twitter or
Sure.
some like Chicago Tribune or New York Times, any of that bullshit. So I was like, okay, I'll take a look. Kid you fucking not. This was the second film on the list, and I was like, I don't know what this film is. What the fuck is this? So I was like, I'll look it up. I was like, oh, it's about coal mining. It's about like labor class warfare. I was like, I'm in. Well, okay, I got to go check and make sure it meets all the rules, blah, blah, blah. And I nearly couldn't do it because it got nominated for an Oscar for cinematography, but it did not win.
Are you confessing this right now?
Well, that was part of the rules.
I
It
forget
could
if
be
the.
nominated, it just couldn't win.
Okay. I feel
But
like
still,
I
it
can't
seems a
remember.
little bit of a cheat. It feels a
Yeah.
little bit of a cheat, but at the
Cozying
same
up to
time,
the. You're nearly crossing the line on the
mhm,
first movie.
yeah, I'm a scab.
You are scabbing it.
I am James Earl Jones.
Hmm. Ah.
Yeah, so I went through all this. I sent you a screenshot or I sent you a link of the first page of search results, and you gave me shit about the nomination because you clearly did not remember our conversation about the
I do not
rules.
remember a thing.
Um, and so you were like, I am going to yes this and something give you shit about this being the
Mm-hmm.
first pick. And I was like, I don't care. I am sold on this film. Let's talk class warfare and
Do
mining.
you want to talk about the movie or do you want to talk about class warfare?
I want to talk about the movie. And if that means that by way we get to talk about class warfare, great.
All
You can't
right.
talk about it enough.
I'm going to talk about the movie. My first reaction, not to the movie, but to you choosing the movie, was, "Holy shit, Body Prince Billy is in this movie." Um,
You mean Will Oldham? You mean
Will,
the 15 other names that he's had over his career?
yeah. Well, technically, Will Youngham,
Yeah, Will
because he's a
Youngham.
boy.
He
Uh,
is super young. Although I was
he is.
never a Bonnie Prince Billy fan, but I know who he is and I know of his music. So
I like some of his things.
I
I don't.
actually
I
like this
think.
character. I thought it was a good character.
Yeah, he's a good character. I liked him, especially after the first scene where he preaches in it, because he's like at this hardline Baptist church, and the preacher who we discussed previously is played by John Sayles,
Hmm.
is up there, talking about how the devil these days is the Union Man, and you could tell like, oh, this movie is tipping its hand in this way,
Yeah.
which, you know, I think there's also precedent about the government going to churches and kind of
Yeah.
trying to sway the communities through that.
Hmm.
So it's not unheard of,
And
but
the fucking dead eye stare that he gives them.
yeah, but then Bonnie Prince Billy's character gets up and gives like a counter sermon and is like, "Go Unions!"
And you
Jesus would
always
want,
and you always expect the hardline like preacher to get up and be like swat him off the stage or something, but he
yeah,
doesn't. He
yeah.
just sits
They
back and
just,
just lets it happen.
yeah,
Guess he's just like a big fan of the forum of ideas.
yeah.
So
That is the second funniest sermon in that movie.
the other one being the telling of Potiphar.
Yeah, Potiphar's wife,
The
where
Potiphar's wife, who was a woman of the night.
yeah, who yeah, woman of the night, and her like servants who were
Yeah,
spies, and
yeah.
um yeah, I thought that was a clever scene. That was one of my favorite scenes because he was, in that scene. So you have the boogeymen coming to town from the coal mining company. I forget the name, but they're basically there to intimidate, and they
Hmm.
catch Bonnie Prince Billy's character again. Names are escaping me. I don't know, Fred, something like that. They catch him spying on them, and they basically threaten him and say like, you know, we're gonna follow you and make sure you don't say anything wrong. But then they explain how they don't know anything about the Bible because
Hmm.
who's got time for that? And so
No.
he just slips in this sermon that is completely made up, a
Yeah.
made up version of the story to communicate with everybody else who's in there about, about a scab, an actual scab in their mix.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a. I liked the way that whole like the movie almost culminated at that point because
Hmm.
you got two or three moving parts, uh, and it's clear that shit's about to go down.
Hmm.
And it doesn't quite go down at that point, but I feel like the actual climax of the
Hmm.
movie is driving at that point. And then the rest is just kind of like falling action. But um, yeah, I like that scene. I really was impressed. I mean, some of it was a little ham-fisted. Don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
but I at least appreciated the fact that they did not just place like religious characters in as like stand-ins for anti-union people.
Hmm.
Uh, I thought
Yeah,
that was
no, they,
actually a nice touch because that's not
yeah.
the kind of thing I think would fly these days. I don't think you would see that level of nuance in films these days for dealing with this kind of subject. But I mean, depends. But yeah, I found that to be a nice little through line, especially with Bonnie Prince Billy's character, uh, kind of being this whiz kid preacher. Um, Yet he's still like he's a coal miner and he's pro union and so he's having to like thread these two elements of his being. Um, uh, I was I did not realize that Chris Cooper was in films this early.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Like this is the earliest I think I've ever like seen a film with him in it. Um, I thought he was like a mid to late '90s like uh, star that kind of came onto the scene, but apparently no, he's been around a bit. So,
I
but
feel
he's
like
great,
every role he wears that
yeah.
paperboy hat.
Except
Um,
except for Batman or The Dark Knight.
oh yeah. Well,
Wait, no, he's not in that.
I
That's
was
a
gonna
William
say,
Fichtner. That's William Fichtner.
yeah.
I get those two confused sometimes.
I did some reading about Chris Cooper, just because I was curious, like, what is
Mm-hmm.
this guy up to? Um, he's been married for like 40 years to the same person, which I think is a rarity in Hollywood.
It is.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a rarity in just
In general, these
everywhere in
days.
general. That's an accomplishment. And he had a this was like a couple months after this movie came out, or around this time. He had his first and only kid, and the kid, like a couple days after he was born, had like a stroke and then was wheelchair bound the rest of his life. So he
What?
had a special needs kid, yeah, for 18 years until his son passed away. And it was
Damn.
yeah, but he, like, I guess he and his wife still like loved that, they loved their son to death. And like
Hmm.
he speaks about his experiences at, like, I don't know,
Damn, why you gotta be
support
trying to make me
conferences.
cry? Shit,
I
man.
know, I know. I read
God.
about that and I was like, oh man, Chris Cooper, you're a good guy. You're a good guy. Um,
Isn't it nice
no,
to like see that occasionally? To
oh
just read
dude,
stuff like that and you're like, oh, there are still good
yeah.
people out there.
No, especially when, like, I don't know, like the headlines are dominated by, what the Kardashians are doing. And, no offense to these people. I'm sure I don't know their lives, and I'm sure there's good things that
Yeah.
come out of people that star in the bad headlines. But, like, just you get so, like, disappointed in the versions of people that you see. It's so nice to read about Hollywood stars that live kind of admirable lives, or at least are known for their admirable qualities, right?
When
Like,
you know what the I feel like the thread that kind of ties a lot of those stories together. I'm thinking of Nick Cave here and like
mm-hmm,
various other people. Is that a lot of like these are people who have been through the meat grinder of suffering,
mm-hmm,
and they've come out on the other side like having significant wisdom about
mm-hmm,
what just happened to them, and like you know living life anyways and in the wake of that. And you're just like,
mm-hmm.
how does one do that? Because like if I get too far into my head about like thinking about any of my either of my two kids like dying, I don't go there very often because that's I can't
Yeah,
do it.
no, dude, and I'm not trying to put like evil in you or anything like that, but I was scrolling Reddit one day, and just the question was asked, like, would you forgive your spouse if they accidentally let your kid die? And I was
Oh
like, oh,
god.
nope, it's time to turn the internet off.
Yeah, I can't do
I
this. I
can't
can't
do
do this.
this. I can't do this. So yeah, I was
Okay.
like, nope,
No more
not gonna
internet
click on
today.
this. Not, not gonna, not gonna give this any more space. But yeah, I was like, nah,
And not only
these
that,
questions are not for me right now.
and they're not for Reddit. I'm sorry, they're not for Reddit.
Yeah, they're definitely not for Reddit. Like, I mean,
That's
like,
that's for I don't know, like a priest or a therapist or I don't know, somebody that's in your sphere of influence. Like,
yeah, that, like, you trust to
yeah,
like have
we're not trying to
a
get aggregated scores for suffering here.
yeah, where there's not a like button,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
play.
exactly.
And it's not to say that there aren't people who are on Reddit who are capable of, like, giving wisdom or like have these experiences, but you just don't know, right?
Yeah,
Like, if you have a community, the people in your community, that, like, oh yeah, maybe the priest has never had a family of his own, as far as like a wife and a child or something like that, or maybe they
hmm,
have, but that they've been with families that have suffered,
yeah,
probably, like, well,
hmm,
you at least know, or they haven't. So,
yeah,
so there's that experience, and then you also kind of trust that that they would, have gravity for a situation like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So Chris Cooper,
Chris
great
Cooper,
guy.
good guy.
James Earl Jones, also a great guy.
Also a
At least
great
has a
guy.
great voice.
Yeah. He's a great actor.
He really is.
He's a joy to watch. And,
And he doesn't have to do much because he really
he doesn't
doesn't
have
do
to
a whole
do
lot in this
much.
movie. But it speaks volumes. Like,
Well, I think I liked this role because there was a lot of, he had a fire in him that I think, he's a big guy, and I think a lot of times, he's cast as kind of the jolly, you know,
yeah.
good soul, kind of laid back or whatnot.
Hmm.
And this character was like, no, I have desires. I have things that I want. I'm going to go after them,
Yep.
and I liked that. I mean, I think he still had kind of his joyfulness. There's a couple scenes where he laughs, in his James Earl Jones laugh,
Yeah.
which is great. But
Specifically at the moment where he was about to do something that he was going to regret.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I found really honestly, I found that to be the most compelling part of the movie was the way they were weaving elements of class and race
mm-hmm,
and trying to thread that needle, which is nearly impossible today without critique.
mm-hmm,
You're gonna get critiqued for whatever, depending on which direction you take. But I feel like this film gets at the closest thing to a traditional Marxist understanding, in that if you can fix the class divisions
mm-hmm,
and allow for what people do in their everyday lives to be like valued and have control over it and actually like get what they make, uh,
mm-hmm,
then a lot of the problems outside of that are going to be fixed ultimately. Not all of them, but a lot of them are going to be fixed.
mm-hmm.
And so you kind of see that with Chris Cooper. His character comes in. He's like, "Hey, if we're going to win this battle against the company, then we all have to be in on it. We can't just
Mm-hmm.
be. We can't be. They're the ones dividing us. Like, and I think
Yeah,
that's the thing that a lot of people miss these days is that there are external forces that are making those divisions even worse because it's good for business.
mm-hmm,
um, and so I like the fact that they were kind of drawing attention to that, but not in like a ham-fisted way. I felt like that was a fairly well drawn kind of point that they kind of make and
mm-hmm.
then drop. The other thing I like is that they let the Italian characters just speak Italian. They don't give
Yeah,
subtitles. They don't do anything. They let you guess from context and from uh, the good, the acting of the Italian characters. And I like that. I don't
yeah,
have to know what they're saying exactly because I get the gist of it. There's nonverbals in human communication that are pretty much universal. So
yeah.
um,
Yeah, I I will say, like, the movie is cheesy. Like, the
oh, it is
movie,
cheesy.
it
Yeah.
it it feels, it hits all the notes of a Lifetime original movie, or like
Hmm.
a ABC Family
Yeah.
special or something like that.
Maybe
You know,
slightly better quality, but
well,
yeah,
I I
the
I do want to
melodrama is still there.
say the melodrama is there, so it would fit nicely in that way, but it gets these details right, like you're saying, and they just kind of exist in the movie's world.
Mhm.
You know, the music is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it has really good music. There's parts where the Italians are playing, and this is just kind of stuff in the background, details
Mhm.
that enhance it and give it this like higher quality than
Yeah.
just being like schlock. And maybe there's something, I don't know, maybe there's something subversive to that where like, yeah, this is a movie you'd watch with your parents who, you know, might
Mhm.
use the word communist like a slur,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
this is a movie about Americans, so
Mhm.
but it might complicate their view of things. Um,
I did find the almost dreamy like quality of the cinematography the most off-putting element of the film. It felt
you didn't
like
find it award winning?
no, I did not. Um, I
Good, it
whenever I
didn't
see
win
stuff like
any.
that, I know. When I see that kind of hazy cinematography, I always think of A Christmas Story, uh, and that kind
Oh,
of like '70s, like '80s, like it's like vaguely like, oh, I'm telling you a story from my childhood.
nostalgic, yeah,
Ooh, yeah, and
very,
I
yeah,
can't do it. I can't do it. I need a little bit more crispness to my cinematography, I guess.
yeah.
I thought the acting was great. For as melodramatic as this film is, like they could have hammed it up a lot more than they did. Um, and I even like the two guys that are the main like
Oh
company
yeah.
representatives. I think they're hilarious.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. I think they did a lot with the role. Griggsy or
Grigsy,
Gregsy,
yeah,
yeah, and I forget what the.
that guy's been in a lot of things. I recognize him every time I see him. I never know his name though.
Well, yeah, I thought that too, but the only thing that I could 100% be sure I've seen him in, and Kira was the one to figure this out, was a Murder She Wrote episode. And I don't remember what one.
Really,
Like, I looked up, yeah, no, I was like,
I
that's
could
the
have.
guy from that thing, right? Yeah, like he's
Is
definitely.
this like the Mandela effect or something? Where I think I've
I
seen
don't
some
know. Yeah,
seen
he's
a
got a
guy
Mandela
before.
face. Yeah. Well, him and also the guy who ended up being the scab too. Like, I swore that I had seen
Oh,
him
I
in
know what
many
he
things
was in.
before. Oh, what?
Shawshank Redemption. He's
Oh,
the warden. That was
yeah.
one of the things I was going to bring up
Okay.
is never trust Bob Gunton.
Yeah.
Whenever you
Never
see him in
trust.
a movie, never trust him.
Never trust him.
That
Yeah.
guy plays the snake oil salesman every single time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you caught on to this, but the guy who played Shem maybe is the grizzled older guy that you see at the very beginning of the movie.
Mm.
He's the one who gets shot and almost dies, but he's the one who sees the scab for who he is.
Mm.
That
Mm-hmm.
guy. Do you know where he's from?
No.
He's the old doctor on Scrubs. The
Oh.
one I can't think of his name, but he's the one that always talked shit to everybody and hated everyone.
Wait. The old doctor or like the middle-aged doctor? What?
Not the middle aged doctor, not but
Okay.
the old
I don't
doctor.
I don't know my side Scrubs characters.
Well, no, this
I
guy
know
was like
Zach
was
Braff.
a main
Okay.
guy.
Maybe
I think you're.
yeah.
Hold on. Is there like a chat in this thing? No, there's not a
I don't
chat in
know.
this
I'm
thing.
not gonna get it. I think there is.
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's
there it
that
is.
bubble.
Here.
Now I can't see.
Hold
Okay.
on. Yeah.
This is really
Pardon.
good podcasting.
This is great podcasting. Shut the.
No, I love that we are
This is
showing
important things.
things to each other that our listeners can't see.
They'll. I'll get
They're
the
probably
Ken Jenkins. Bob Kelso.
Okay. Did you?
Here. I'm about to put a link in the chat.
Oh, I'm not gonna. A link.
Oh,
Hey
I don't know.
Blake, I'm gonna keep us to our schedule. We said we'd go for about an hour. We're at that point. I want to give you 2 to 5 minutes to say anything else you want to say about this movie.
I think it's worth a watch, even if you can get past the shitty cinematography. And it might actually teach you something about Marxism, like true Marxism, not like, modern day progressivism dressed up as Marxism. There you go. And
All
Chris
right.
Cooper, good guy.
Yeah, Chris Cooper is a good guy. He
What about
plays
you,
a pacifist.
Jason?
I like that he played a pacifist in the movie.
Yeah.
I liked the complications when Bonnie Prince Billy's character was like asking him if he went to the war, and he was like, "No, I skipped it." And then he got arrested and spent 2 years in jail for it. But
And then you told the story about the Mennonites. Yep.
yeah, the Mennonites who were badass. Speaking of Mennonites, I don't know if he'll get to the end of this episode, but our good friend Nate just got ordained as
What?
a Mennonite priest. I don't
Did
know if
I
they call
know
them
he was
priests.
Mennonite?
Well, so the church that he talked about, they were in the process. I think he talked about this,
Oh.
but they were in the process of getting of kind of being absorbed into the Mennonite thing. But like over the break, um, we're not in school, and I didn't get much of a break. But
When
over the
when
holidays,
you have kids, you have a break because it's the worst
yeah.
part of the year.
Oh yeah, it's a break in the other way. You break. It's a
Exactly.
mind break. Um, yeah, no. So over the holidays, he and one other person in their church, Tim Otto, were ordained. So yeah.
Tell him to join the club because we too are men of night.
Oh, oh. Mm.
Bye.
Bye.